recycle, reduce, reuse, recycle, reduce, reuse, recycle. The three, that's a magic number. Yes, it is. It's a magic number.
Every year there's parents who go to Snack Shack and say, oh, all this cardboard's going in the dumpster, I think I'll just take it home to my curb. And every year there's a few teachers who say, I'll just take the paper from my classroom home and bring it to my curb. And every year there's a few parents, or one parent, who looks in the trash can and says, look at all those water bottles. Let's put out a recycling bin and collect them and save them from the trash. So this is a grassroots effort that happens every year. What's new this year is schools nationwide are going green, conserving resources is in, it's the right idea at the right time, support resources are abundant, and our parents are really passionate about helping sustain the program now. Something that doesn't have to be recreated every single year, something that's well thought out from the facilities perspective and well supported at the highest level. Henry said something really neat at Film Fest that applies here. We want to help students develop higher level thinking skills about issues that face them in the future. And we do that at home, and we'd like to see that here at school too. So my comments tonight are a compilation of ideas that the Go Green team has collected from talking to parents, talking to staff. And it all started with a series of just casual parent meetings. And then we met with Tori, and then we met with Henry, and with Tom, and with Leaves, and with teachers. And then meanwhile, we co-sponsored the big Earth Week activities at CT and Loma, and we did that in cooperation with the Student Council, which is a key reason I think it was so successful. So, what do we want? Hard question to answer because we don't need money. What we want is for the district to acknowledge that caring for our resources will be the MO here on campus. We want teachers to feel empowered to incorporate this message into their classrooms. We want to continue active dialogue on lots of opportunities to walk the walk here on campus because our children are watching us. I took a stab at writing a mission statement for Go Green, which is support the district in demonstrating environmental awareness as a core value here of our schools. And I see that has kind of 5 components. One is district ownership of the campus recycling program, cardboard, paper, and plastic bottles. It's not difficult, it's not expensive. All the other schools are doing it, but it does require a district commitment. And it requires a directive to facilities, but that's a good use of their time and resources. And it requires a good communication plan. Secondly, we'd like to see the district encourage staff and organizations here to consider our carbon footprint when we plan events and projects. And that doesn't have to be major changes, it's just an awareness. Let's make sure we provide recycling containers when there is an event and continue looking at creative ways to reduce waste. 3 is reducing paper usage. I figured our Wednesday packets cost the district about $1,000 in paper and copy supplies this year. We pride ourselves on our tech program, and yet, we kind of underutilize the power of the computer. So there's opportunities there. Student education, there is lots of parent energy and ideas in this area. We just like to brainstorm them with Corey and the teachers and the student council to find out where we as parents can pitch in and help. And there are so many cool things that we can do that don't take time and don't take money. It's just thought, planning, and enthusiasm. And then lastly, communications. Go Green parents would like to work with the district over the summer to develop plans so we can have a really strong kickoff in the fall. You'll find us by the Redwood Estates pool. Another question is, do we have support for this? And I would say yes. We've proven the students are trainable. Every Friday, they dump their little food scraps in the compost bin and they stack their plastic trays. But, we'll need to retrain them next year. And that's where consistency comes in. This has be, endorsed on a broad level, not one parent standing on the playground chasing them down because they didn't dump their plastic in the right place. Teachers were very enthusiastic supporters of Earth Week, and just this week, Leslie O'Malley, who we honored as a top volunteer and is kind of one of the spokesmen of this group, we visited Corey's staff meeting and received lots of earthy suggestions. And something I bet doesn't happen a lot was a hearty round of applause. That really, that warmed my heart. As far as staff, Tom is definitely in favor of reducing campus trash. And we're working on a recycling plan that won't be cumbersome. And he's already offered a space in one of the arts so that recyclables can be stored on the way to the redemption center. With parents, I think there's a lot of support because the primary reason we live up here is we love the outdoors and we want our children to grow up with a healthy lifestyle. We already have a Go Green supporter on pretty much every committee at the school, including LPEF, School Sites Council, both home school clubs engaged. And I believe that next year we'll be able to identify at least one Go Green parent for every classroom in the school who wants one. Community, Mountain Network News was very enthusiastic about the Earth Week article that was submitted and even asked for a photo. And Leslie has even talked to them about a general environmental awareness column. And the Community Foundation here at Loma will likely assist our efforts through their grant program as we come up with appropriate requests. And then lastly, other resources. The greening of schools is definitely a growing movement. We have many schools to model from. Support resources include buildgreenschools.org and gogreeninitiative.org. But I will say that in some ways we are really a leader up here at our school because of our gardening program. Thank you, Melanie. And in other ways we are just so way behind because 100% of our waste goes to landfill. What do we need? I would say what we need the most is top-down support from Heather and Corey. Your messages are so important, your newsletters, and your assemblies here with the students, meetings with the teachers and staff. We obviously need a custodial commitment. We want to make this as simple and straightforward as possible, but that's a piece of it. We'd like to invite teacher initiative and creativity because they really know what works in the classroom. And lots of parent volunteers, which I don't think would be a problem up here. What will it cost? We're going to need to buy some recycling containers, at least 3 nice stationary, weatherproof trash stations that have recycling bins right there with them. One for the playground, one for CT, and one for the gym, and maybe some others too, but that would be a good starting point. And we'll need a small container for every classroom that they can carry to these sort of stations. Hauling, remains to be seeing how the numbers work out, but ultimately this is going to reduce the volume of campus trash, so hopefully it's going to save money. Hot lunch recycling has already reduced trash by 2 bags every week because we take the effort to compost and stack the plastics and take them home. And since Earth Week, CTers have been recycling a large can of plastic each week. So plastic bottles and cardboard have a redemption value. We have to resort them and keep them clean and dry, so it shouldn't be difficult to find someone to haul them away. I don't know if it's going to be a big expense to do that. So I am obviously painting a rosy picture here, but that's my style. And if this philosophy is communicated from the top down, the same way that it's been embraced from the bottom up, I am very optimistic about the power of the can-do spirit here at Loma. Without a doubt, I know we can do this. So I guess what I want to know from you is, do you think we're on the right track here? Is there agreement that our Loma district wants to conserve resources, wants to care for our earth, wants to empower teachers to deliver earthy messages, and wants to set an example for our kids by walking the walk here on the campus? If so, what's the best venue for sharing these ideas and developing plans over the summer so we can have a strong kickoff in the fall? And one last thing I want to say before I close is what I've shared today is from my heart. It's collective. from lots of conversations with lots of different people, but they may not all agree with every detail of what I've presented here. So Go Green is not a formal organization. We don't have a board, we don't have a mission statement, we don't even have a budget. But what we do share is we all want to help the district care for the earth by caring for our campus and caring for ourselves. And that was the message for Earth Week. Go Green.
Thank you very much.
And as you mentioned, Sue, we will find solutions. We will meet this summer and work through them. And we have found a number of solutions already that are viable.
Very hard.
Yeah, thank you.
There is.
Good to see you. Yeah, really good.
Job. Thanks.
Bless you.